Howdy, Ben.
Hi, Ryan.
How are you today?
Honestly, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah, that's fair. I woke up earlier than usual.
Oh, I woke up very early today.
Yeah.
It's been like a non-stop kind of thing for me.
But here we are, and this today we have a whole list of stuff we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about an anime I'm going to recommend you.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about a game I've been playing,
I'm looking forward
possibly
to
two.
that. Possibly two different games you're playing. Wait, because how many games are you playing?
Well, it depends on what's going on. I can talk about three if you want to get real technical.
Oh, okay. This is a time slot issue. Okay, that makes more sense.
We'll discuss our mystery box.
I mean, I think the title's actually pretty clear on this one. It says Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. It's a board game that we're going to be talking about probably at the end of the episode.
The title's the worst part of the game.
It is the worst part of the game.
What are you talking about, Ben?
Well, I figure at some point we'll talk a little bit more about the Stop Killing Games initiative, just the updates going on there, and I'm going to talk about UFO 50, because I am always going to talk about UFO 50 for the next 50 episodes.
Yep.
And I want to start this episode off talking about Summer Games Done Quick.
Games Done Quick.
One of my favorite bi-yearly events, and I say bi-yearly, it's because there's actually two Games Done Quick events. The regular Games Done Quick, which is done in the wintertime, and Summer Games Done Quick, which is done in the summertime.
I would inverse them.
So have you ever watched it before?
I have literally no idea what you're talking about. My best reference to what you're talking about is this has something to do with the Ocarina of Time coding thing you were telling me about years and years ago.
Oh my god. Okay, so Summer Games Done Quick is a charity event where the speedrunning community does a what do you call those old call-in a-thon things that PBS used to do? Where they'd have a bunch of shows and then they'd have a bunch of like people talking.
Telethon?
Telethon, yeah. It's basically like a Twitch telethon.
Gotcha.
Where they get people donating to usually like cancer research. And I love it. It is one of the coolest ways that one of my favorite hobbies, like obviously like gaming is a pretty like broad
spectrum.
Broad hobby. And I tend to go towards like that older like arcade age, older like skill based competitive kind of gaming.
Yeah.
And it like competitive gaming in that way never really took off, like there isn't like when they had the video gaming part of the Olympics last year. Do you remember this, where they had like this like crappy like mobile game kind of thing where people were doing like a mobile game archery at the Olympics?
I did hear about the mobile game thing they did. I did download the app and I was like, I could be an Olympic athlete with this.
Well, like to me, the real digital athletes, the real people who are the absolute best of the best, like who should be competing in video games, are speedrunners. Like these are the guys that take Super Mario Brothers 1, for instance, and can beat it in under 4 minutes, like so fast that any time advancement is being measured entirely in microseconds and frames,
Yeah.
And the fact that they do it as like a charity event, meaning it's not like a big competition, it's not like it's not a very, very toxic environment or anything like that. It's a really, really cool opportunity to like get people's attention. And it's an event that's only grown and grown every single year since they've done it, which is another thing that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It usually goes over several days, and there's a schedule like ahead of time of like what games are going to be running and who's going to be running them. And they'll do like special stretch goals for how much money they earn to like run different games or do like special categories. And a lot of times they'll do like showcases as well. Like they'll do like a Dark Souls speedrun or like an Elden Ring speedrun, and then they'll do like a glitch showcase so they can show like all the insane glitches that speedrunners have figured out.
Yeah.
That probably aren't going to show up in a run, but are still like really, really cool to see. Or they'll have like races between players, or they'll have so the Ocarina of Time thing.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. So a big part of speedrunning is what's called a tool-assisted speedrun. Have you ever heard that term?
Yes, I have.
So for our listeners, tool-assisted speedruns are basically just a computer being used to like make a perfect speedrun. So it's not an actual like official competitive thing, but it is something that is used as a reference tool. Like this is the fastest that is technically possible, and they can use that to like judge their own improvements and stuff.
Yeah.
But the people who make that got really, really, really into arbitrary code execution as a method of, creating glitches and stuff in the game. It started with, I think, Super Mario World. Someone figured out how to beat the game from the first level by just inputting a certain, inputting certain inputs on the controller and basically tricking the game into like programming it thinking the game is over and just going straight to the credits. Like at first it was something that could only be done with a computer, and then someone managed to actually do it live, and it was like a big thing. And then it was like something that they started exploring.
Oh.
And with the Ocarina of Time thing, it got to the point where they could have their code bot, they have a special little Rob thing that they have to input all the controllers.
Yeah.
Inputs. He can do this stuff like so fast and so precisely that they're reprogramming Ocarina of Time like live on thing. They're playing off of the cartridge, but they're like adding in like characters like into the game and like things that they're saying, like doing little extra quests and stuff. It was bonkers. And the thing that I loved about it was that it was all just a loving showcase of like Ocarina of Time trivia for like people who love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is not the kind of thing you've never seen any of this before, have you?
No. What I saw that a little bit when you told me about it, because that was a few years ago. It wasn't the most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was like the coolest shit ever, and I always tell people about it, but I don't know much about the event. Speedrunning just isn't my bag. Like, every time I've watched anything by, I think, Summoning Salt, is that his name?
Yeah, that's the guy who does a history.
He's like the most like prominent figure, arguably, in speedrunning.
I think he managed to position himself in that way almost.
Just because I think like he's the kind of dude who like other people can watch, because they get to watch like his Trackmania videos, and it's just like you don't have to watch Trackmania or understand it. He'll just tell you about it.
So do you know the whole deal with Summoning Salt specifically?
Nothing about him.
Well,
if he's done something horrible, I don't know.
Oh no. He is one of the most like respected people in the speedrunning community, and I mean like besides just his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So Summoning Salt, for our listeners who are like the few people who we know listen to this podcast, definitely know who Summoning Salt is.
Probably.
But so Summoning Salt does history of speedrun world records. So he'll pick a game like Super Mario Brothers and be like, okay, so in 2010, this was the world record, and this is how it improved. And he tells the story. He's very, very good at telling that story. And he's also got a great base of music tracks that he uses that people really get sucked into.
He's a really, really good storyteller that really sinks you in, even if you're not into speedrunning,
So
which I'm not.
Here's the thing. He is by and far the most accomplished, the absolute best Mike Tyson's Punch-Out speedrunner there is.
Oh, really?
Like, unquestionably, he is an absolute fucking god at that game.
Cool.
No one competes with him. I think he actually recently accomplished something big with the Mike Tyson individual time specifically, or like he was trying to like lower a minute barrier or something like that, and he just accomplished that, and that's why he's finally done his first face reveal, and he's now selling merchandise or something like that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, like it's really, really cool, because when he was doing his Mike Tyson videos, he didn't like let that on and on. He just talked about like the Mike Tyson things, and when his name naturally came up as part of the story, he was like, okay, and this is where I fit in.
Yep.
But otherwise, very, very respectful to like the community and the history behind it all.
Yeah, he's really cool. But he's like my only like drive to speedrunning. That and maybe like a few like IGN videos where they like show the developer their fastest speedrun.
So, did you ever watch the old H-Bomber video, Speedrunning is Awesome and Here's Why?
No.
So, that is the one where, I mean, obviously it's just an essay about why he thinks speedrunning is cool, and it's not gonna have anything in there that's gonna change your mind. Like, if you're into it, whatever. Just an entertaining video. But that's also the thing that led into his whole Donkey Kong 64 marathon. Do you know about that?
No, I don't.
So because of Games Done Quick, the charity thing, and because of this speedrunning essay that he did, he wanted to do a speedrun charity event of his own. So he streamed himself doing a 100% run of Donkey Kong 64.
Right.
And he was giving the money to trans charities, mermaids specifically.
Gotcha.
And Donkey Kong 64 is a really fucking funny game to 100% speedrun, because it is an absurd game with like a billion collectibles, so you have to switch between 5 different characters in order to pick them all up. And his speed run took like several days, and it wound up attracting like a ton of attention, like getting like huge figures like in the chat talking to him and stuff. Like at one point, and Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez like was talking to him in the
Oh
chat and
yeah,
stuff like that.
I heard
Like,
about
kind of a
that.
big political thing. They got the voice actor who played Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong 64 to say trans rights.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is the kind of shit why I love speedrunning.
So anyway, we're talking about the most recent summer one that just really happened, or
It
is
is
it finished?
currently happening
Currently
right
happening.
now. Like I actually got a notification on my phone, before the Super Metroid run, because Super Metroid, in my opinion, is the best speedrunning game of all time. Period. Unquestionable.
Okay.
I mean, lots of people question it that, but
I don't.
it's important for me.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. My guess would have been Neon White because it's designed to be that.
I mean, Neon White's fun for getting people into the speedrunning by like adding like little extra goals and challenges.
Yeah.
But like Super Metroid's like very design, like pixel by pixel, is just so accidentally perfect, like lightning in a bottle kind of way.
Gotcha.
The fact that it can be played in so many different ways, like one of the coolest things about Super Metroid is that it's got multiple categories that people run.
Right.
Not just any percent and 100%, but the other big one, the one that they actually are running this year is the low percent run, which is where you have to get as few items as humanly possible and also beat the game. The
Okay.
any percent run would get enough items to actually make it fast, whereas the low percent is a super high risk version where they're like, okay, we're literally going minimum energy, minimum missiles, minimum like special items.
You have to be good to get this done quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all like that, but
Yeah.
and it was exciting because the guy who got the new world record for low percent this year actually got the world record for any percent, as well as 100%, as well as reverse boss order.
So there's just one guy who's good at it.
One guy has all 4 of the major Super Metroid records and is like definitively like the best Super Metroid player in the world right now.
And his name is Ben.
No, his name is Shiny Zenny. And then also another guy got that low percent record right after him again, so he doesn't have all 4 right now.
Have you ever tried speedrunning yourself, Larry?
Yeah, I speedrun Metroid games all the time.
Okay, well.
That's how you play Metroid.
Oh, well, I didn't know. I was asking.
It's actually like so. My younger brother Alex, the one who's super into RPGs, the other thing that we spend an inordinate amount of time talking about is just Metroid.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think you'd get that much out of it, but it's just such a beautiful, goddamn elegant. You ever watch a Ken Burns documentary about baseball?
No.
Like, there's this opening speech of like the guy talking about how goddamn beautiful the sport of baseball is in every single aspect, and that's exactly how I feel about Super Metroid.
Cool.
It's like every single part about this game is perfect. It performs literal goddamn miracles.
I wish I could relate.
I'm gonna get you to relate. That's why we're talking about stuff we love on this podcast.
That's true.
Another, so I can get you to start getting into this shit.
I just don't think it's going to happen because I've tried. Like, I just don't have an interest. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll stop geeking out for a second. You start telling me about some of the things you were into this week.
Oh, is there anything else with the Summer Games thing?
Like any great stories? Not that I know of. The problem is with like a big live event that goes over several days that like is nonstop.
Yeah.
Some of the best stuff you're gonna miss. And luckily you can go onto Reddit after the event is over and you're going to find people like all compiling like the absolute best like performances. And people will talk about like, okay, these were the really cool runs. These were the ones where the people that were running them were just really entertaining and really, really funny. These are ones where like we just learned about insane games. Because speedrunners, they love speedrunning everything. So
Yeah.
they just find any random obscure thing just so they can speedrun it.
Yeah,
I remember one year they introduced the Pepsi Man game. Have you ever heard of Pepsi Man?
Yes, I knew about the Pepsi Man game.
Oh my god, that game was so fucking funny, and they reached their stretch goal bonus where they showed the original commercials for the
Yeah.
Pepsi Man game was the guy screaming about pizza and Pepsi.
And he's like, "You gotta get here quick." I played the Pepsi Man game when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's the thing I've noticed most about speedrunning is that they always pick the weirdest fucking games.
Yeah,
Like Max Payne.
yeah. They'll find like whatever obscure thing that they can destroy. Otherwise, like if it's a big thing, they'll. The problem is like the most popular games to run are just the most popular games, and
Yeah.
they're not always necessarily the most popular games to watch.
No.
You know, like I think platformers are always going to have an advantage in terms of like entertaining speedruns to watch because a character moving really, really fast is something that is just entertaining to see happen. You
Yeah.
know? Especially if it's like Mario and he's doing all kinds of flips and shit.
If you compare that to like a first-person game doing it, it's usually like someone going into like a corner and kind of doing like a weird thing and throwing a grenade in the right way,
Yeah.
and then like all of a sudden they're out of the map and you're like, what the fuck was that?
That is exactly how I used to play Halo Online.
On the flip side of that, though, watching Super Mario 64 speed
Yeah.
run-ins,
It's
and
wild.
the one dude who talked about the half A presses. I don't want to talk about him too much because he's actually like stopped doing public stuff because he felt like he was getting a lot of hate.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah.
because of the absurdity of that video?
Yeah, he like that video was so crazy and it blew up so much.
Oh my god.
Like I would tell you more about it. I would tell the people more about it if they don't know. I just don't want him to like unintentionally get more hate as a result.
I wouldn't. It is not something. I will say to our listeners, this is not something that deserves hate at all.
No,
It is-
no.
It is
I-
a joke. It's just a joke that is like.
If you want me to be honest, I don't think he was actually receiving a lot of hate. Like he definitely had to have been because it got so big.
No, but he didn't want to get attention.
I think that he saw any attention as sort of a negative,
I can see that.
which like is kind of fair because people were like they were like kind of making jokes about it because they were so impressed. Because he like literally. I wish I can't get deep into this.
Why not? We're gonna have to explain it to our listeners at some point.
Um,
There's a YouTuber who was explaining the insane intricacies of what's called the one button or the minimum A button challenge in
Yes.
Super Mario 64, where you have to beat the game with pressing the jump button the minimum number of times.
yeah.
And what that actually means in order to do the minimum number of times turns out to be quite a roller coaster that
Yeah.
goes on for hours, like
Days.
days of explanations of
So
like.
what he had to do to get one of the stars is he had to put Mario in a position where Mario was going to continually gain speed. Like, and when I'm talking about speed, I'm not talking like he had to get like 100 miles an hour. He had to get like multiple millions of miles an hour or something like that.
I don't think like the technicalities of the glitch are important. Just to understand that glitches were involved, the explanations are fascinating and bizarre.
Yes.
Like bizarre. It's
Because
like,
you have to go through multiple different universes to understand, and that's not a joke. That's part of the game.
It's like, what does that even mean? It's like, okay, it's gonna take a while to explain, but I'm gonna.
It's like an hour-long video, and it's one of the best videos ever.
It's multiple hour-long videos, if I'm not mistaken.
The main one is just an hour. Like the
Okay.
main,
Oh, yeah,
the
he's got,
main
like, a
one that got
summarized
most
thing.
popular, yeah. But yeah, it's a really dope whole thing. But unfortunately, that dude just didn't want to be popular in that capacity. So
See, luckily, I experienced it the best way possible, which was a montage of other people reacting to that video. So you just get like clips of him saying insane fucking shit, like parallel universes or something.
yeah,
And it's Maximilian dude going, "What the fuck is going on? I just wanted to play Super Mario."
all right. Well, that summer game's done quick. We'll have a link in the description for it because I forgot to do that a couple of times, and now we're gonna make sure.
I mean, it will be over by the time this one goes live.
Yeah, but like we can put the links for the charities,
That's a good idea.
you know. But for now, we're gonna talk about the game that I've been playing. I've been playing this game.
Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon.
Yeah, so this is a really interesting concept to me. You know of Arthurian legends, I presume.
I'm super into Arthurian Legends. I literally have a copy of Arthurian Legends next to my bed right now, as well as a copy of Gawain and the Green Knight.
This is a video game set in Arthurian legends
Okay.
where you are like a peasant effectively,
Okay.
and you find out that King Arthur is being resurrected.
All right. You mean so this takes place after the big King
After
Arthur
the
story.
fall of Avalon.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Fall of Camelot.
So Camelot, in the context of this, I don't know what the actual Arthurian legend of this is, but in the context of this game, they had to abandon Camelot because of a thing called the Red Death, which is a disease,
Okay.
and it was spreading so fervently. That's actually what those dudes on the screen right now are. It was spreading so fervently they had to abandon it, and they had to go to a new place called Avalon.
So, okay. In Arthurian legend, Avalon is like almost an afterlife, a paradise world, and that's where Arthur's body was sent after he was killed.
Oh, maybe it isn't called Avalon then. I don't know what it's called now.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's literally called Fall of Avalon in the title right there.
Well, no, not that. I mean, maybe the location that you're on in the game.
The thing is that like video games based on mythology, usually they take liberties, and that's for the best. Because if you try
They
to
do.
be like super like accurate and specific, it's just gonna be weird and annoying.
Yeah, no, this takes a lot of liberties. But it's what it like really is like down to the nitty gritty is it's just sort of a indie version of Skyrim.
Indie Skyrim with a specifically Arthurian bent.
Yes, and what I think is really cool about it is mostly like the iconography. Like where was it? There was a thing they showed a minute ago that you experience in the game. Like this. This is Arthur's tomb.
That is very H.R. Geiger.
Yeah, and it's just like this dope ass like it just looks like this.
You just really like the art direction.
I like the art direction a lot. I think the gameplay's fun. I mean, it is pretty much just Skyrim. Like I wish it was more complex, but like
Is the character creation process similar?
yeah,
So like the thing about like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls open world games, do you remember when Morrowind first became
No.
like kind of popular? And
literally never
Oblivion?
heard of it before Oblivion.
Okay, so well, Oblivion was the first one I really remember being popular, and
Yep.
when I say that, I mean I remember being in 8th grade, a 14-year-old boy, and my classmates actually talking about it, and it being not just something that I knew about because of the internet.
Well, let me be clear.
You know?
When I was a kid, my first Bethesda video game I ever played was Fallout 3. Me and my whole family fell in love with it. We all my mom, my stepdad, and me all had an account.
I would say Fallout 3 was the first definitely mainstream game, but Oblivion was like the first actually popular
Well,
one.
then after we got really into Fallout 3, we borrowed Oblivion from someone who already had it. We also fell in love with that, played the crap out of it, and then when I was in middle school, 2011, I found out that Skyrim was becoming a thing, which was amazing for me because I thought that they were not doing the series anymore. I don't know why.
You thought that?
Well, I guess because it was like Oblivion came out like 2004, and it was by this time it was 2011.
Yeah, that's a good point. It was kind of a long development time, but it also makes sense when you looked at that game.
Yeah, I mean now you're looking at Elder Scrolls 6, but whatever.
What blows my mind is that way back in the day, Morrowind was reviewed on Toonami.
Yeah.
Like that's like one of those like little Easter egg kind of factoids, and it was a weird review. It was obviously not for their like main audience, but like the growth of that series, I've always found Elder Scrolls fascinating. I've also always found it so fucking frustrating.
What specifically is frustrating?
Usually just kind of crappy gameplay.
Mm.
It's always just a little bit shittier than I want it to be.
I will say that this game leans closer to Dark Souls in that you have a stamina bar and you have like a dash attack, so you can kind of play it like first-person Dark Souls.
I don't necessarily need every game to be Dark
No,
Souls.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the combat's better.
One
as a
thing
result.
that I like about Elder Scrolls specifically, that a lot of other open world games do, is the character creation process. And like, it's very, very easy to just come up with a character concept and say, oh, this is a character in this world. I'm just going to be a farmer, and I'm just going to hang out on farms, and I'm going to do like farm labor. And people play the game that way sometimes. It's a little weird, but like, if you want to role play it, you can. And it's a lot easier to do that than in, say, like an Ubisoft game where you are playing as a character as part of a story being, thrust through their
you
plot.
are the Assassin's Creed.
You are the Assassin's Creed, yeah. Whereas in Skyrim, it's like, okay, you're the Dovahkiin, but who the Dovahkiin is literally can be anyone. So if you want to start that off, and that's why, like, alternate start mods are so popular, too.
Well, okay.
Like, I always like playing as a vampire in those games, so one of the last time I did an alternate start mod, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna start as a vampire. You just, it randomly picks one of the vampire, like, tombs all over the map, and it's like, this is your starting location.
I do the starting ones. Okay, so I don't have the same feeling.
How do you mean?
I don't, like, play it that way at all. I don't know if you tried...
don't roleplay it at all?
Basically, not really. Because my problem with trying to roleplay those games is that, like, it's too easy to be good at everything.
Okay.
So, like if I'm like, okay, I want to be Because I also do the start mods. But the reason I do the start mods is because I don't want it to go through the fucking intro again.
The intros have gotten longer and longer and more tedious.
Every time, and you can't skip them. Fallout 4 is ridiculous.
Morrowind, you just get off the boat and you play the game. I love it.
Why the fucking Fallout 3 are you like a baby? It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I kind of like the baby thing. I love the idea. It's like, oh, you literally start as a baby and you go through life, and that's the character creation process.
Yeah.
Not that you actually do that, but
It's cool, like conceptually. And the first, like, 2 times, dope. The 5th time?
Yeah.
The 10th time?
It's why the alternate, like, starts should be, like, built into the game.
Yes.
From the start.
It's insane that they don't. Like, I get, like, okay, if you want to make it so you have to beat the game once, fine.
Yeah,
I can handle that. I don't beat those games ever, but I'll be able to handle it.
See, like, I've never gotten mad at, like, Bayonetta or Devil... I don't know if Devil May Cry does it. Bayonetta definitely does this thing where it's like, okay, the cutscenes are not skippable until you've beaten the game once.
Yep.
And then after you do, they're all skippable. We don't expect you to ever watch them ever again. But
That's
you do
fair.
have to beat the game. We want you to at least, try to experience the story once.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
That's fair.
Anyway, back to this. Not to pivot too hard. Yeah, the iconography of this game is really dope. I mean, you can kind of see it even early in with like this fight, which I have not had happen in the game, but look at that. It's dope as hell. And it has this really dope atmosphere. Like when you're walking through, right now I'm in an area where like off in the distance, there's just like a deer, a gigantic, enormous deer walking.
A giant deer.
Yeah, and it's like, it looks ethereal, looks like a ghost, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Just
and I
walking across the landscape.
walking across, I walk over there, the entire area is like ash.
That's cool.
It's dope. There's a lot of really cool shit like that. The dialogue's really cool, or not really cool, but it's like dialogue's pretty good. It's all mostly voiced, and it's all voiced by like English actors because of their Arthurian.
Mm-hmm.
King Arthur is in your body when you're playing the game. Like he's trying to get resurrected and it fails, but his soul ends up like bound to you.
So you've got Ghost King Arthur as a companion?
Kind of. He's not like doing anything, but like you can talk to him.
I was gonna say, is it like do you remember Shadow over Mordor or whatever it was called?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it like
it's
that?
kind of like that.
Okay.
And it's just really fun. Like I think it deserves a little bit more like love than it's gotten so far. I think it's a really cool game, and if you're into Arthurian, you might want to check it out. Like genuinely, I wasn't gonna recommend it to you initially, but since I've heard that,
I'll be honest. I've always wanted like a game that was like Skyrim that isn't Skyrim because I'm kind of sick of Bethesda.
Yeah.
Like my biggest problem with Bethesda games isn't that they're bad; it's that they're not as good as they should be.
Yeah. Now
It's the same problem I have with Pokemon.
I will not lie to you. I have some negatives.
Okay, let's go over them.
Probably the biggest negative I had was that it took us like it's not fully open world. There's giant open world sections, which I don't personally have an issue with.
I
inherently
definitely don't have an issue with it.
The
normally.
problem I have with it is that it took way longer than I wanted it to for me to get to the second section. Because I went through most of the side quests, and I was like, okay, this is whatever. And then I'm like, all right, I'm kind of bored. I want to go to the next part. So I start doing the main quest, and it just took so much longer than I was expecting it. Leveling in this game is kind of weird. You have there are 800 different skill points.
Oh, jeez.
And you get 1 point per level.
Okay.
So it's very much clear that you're not going to get all of them. Which I don't necessarily have a problem with inherently. But it does make needing to pick your stuff right very important. Except when it isn't, because after a certain point, as long because you get skill points and you get attribute increases. If you increase your attributes correctly, you'll just pretty much be fine. I found 2 basically completely overpowered weapons, and the game's been kind of easy. I've also been playing it like a stealth archer, the classic. I won't lie. I like playing the games as stealth archers off rip.
That's the only way I've ever actually played. Because I wanted to make a stealth. Well, specifically, I always play assassins.
Yeah. Okay.
I loved You've done the the Dark Brotherhood quest in
Yep, all of
Oblivion,
them.
I take it, right? Which is still my favorite one of all time.
Yeah, because it's the best one.
The Skyrim one's not bad.
I don't know
do
about the
like
Morrowind one.
Morrowind's fine.
Fair.
Like you're not the Dark Brotherhood in that one. You're a different assassin group, like the one that's native to the Dunmer of Morrowind, and they're more like good and honorable.
Sure.
And I'm like, that's not as fun. I want the Dark Brotherhood and their weird, creepy worshipping of corpses.
Yeah, but that's just how I've been playing it. You can also do magic.
I see that the big bright screen that you've paused on.
Yeah. I'll just move that. Bam. Oh, that's King Arthur right there, actually.
Well, what really stands out from this game besides the art direction? That is a cool helmet.
A lot of it's just like the general like 1-to-1 gameplay is really fun. Like it's just enjoyable to run around. I feel powerful. One thing about this game I wanted to make sure I brought up that I don't know if is necessarily a negative. It probably isn't for like 90% of the world, but for me it's like kind of annoying almost. The moral decisions you have to make in this video game are fucking annoying.
In what way? Because, okay, this is an interesting topic, because if we're doing Arthurian legend, moral decisions are an important part of, like, that storytelling, but also the morals of Arthurian legend are really weird compared to, like, what we're used to. So is it like that?
A lot of what the game kind of revolves around, at least I'll tell you, like, somewhat the story of the first part of the game, because it revolves as you go. The first part of the game, you're playing at like the Northern Watch, which is like the farthest northern part of the island.
Okay.
They're the ones that are like going to protect the rest of the place from what's coming from Camelot, for a back of a better
Very,
explanation.
very Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like the Wall, exactly. They like were in a power struggle at the moment because they are supposed to be as powerful, like politically, as the rest of the Round Table, because obviously the Round Table's there.
Okay.
But they aren't treated that way in reality, and they're like pissed about it. And the beginning of the game is you just having to figure out if you're going to either help them or help Arthur. And a lot of the crux of this is that King Arthur is like they're trying to paint it as he's actually evil, because a lot of the actions he's took are evil.
Okay.
But they're evil in the context that he was like fighting a war and needed stuff done.
Okay.
For example, Merlin wants King Arthur to be immortal.
Just to be immortal.
Yeah, because he's really powerful and he has like attention to the weirdness, which is like their evil magic system.
Okay.
So he puts in a lot of experiments to make him immortal, and he accidentally makes other dudes immortal in ways that are not beneficial to anyone.
Yeah, like weird zombie monster shit.
Weird zombie monsters. One dude's just like he's just getting older. He just doesn't. He ages still.
He keeps aging, but he's immortal. That's hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Arthur, like he lost his memory, so he doesn't know most of the stuff. And people around you are like, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Everyone at Camelot's a piece of shit. And so you're like, okay, cool. Camelot sucks. But then you like talk to the people who are like pro Camelot, and you're like, okay, these people don't suck nearly as much as you're painting them to be.
Sounds like a complicated moral decision, then.
Yes, it is. And that's sort of like my issue is I don't know if the game is going to be able to do. My problem with moral decisions in video games, all of them, every single one you've ever played, is that there's no room ever for middle ground.
Uh-huh.
It's always extremes.
I'm going to push back on that, but I mostly agree with you.
Like, don't get me wrong, there are times where they'll have like a middle ground thing, but a lot of the times those are a fail state.
So, like, I'm going to name just a handful of specific examples.
Okay.
And the thing is, they have to be specific examples because they are the exception,
Yes.
not the rule. But, so Mass Effect 3, major spoilers for this now ancient game. When you have to choose between killing the Geth or reprogramming that is something that, in gameplay terms, they act like is a good or evil thing. Like, there's a Paragon or Renegade, like, points to be gained. But, like, zoom out, fuck the video game aspects, and just, like, the moral question of completely eliminating, like, genociding a slave race that were an artificial slave race versus reprogramming them, like the entire race, to be different.
Yep.
Like, that is an incredibly interesting moral choice, and you don't get a different option besides those two. That's how you have to deal with this gigantic, like, issue as part of the war.
Yeah.
And it's cool to sit and think about that choice and really, really think about the ethics and the moral dilemma behind it, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the exception, not the rule. Normally it's, oh, you are going to steal candy from babies and then sell it to terrorists or something like that.
Yeah,
evil.
I would say this is more in the realm of like the sort of the middle. But a lot of that is because what the information they'll give you is like half of the information, and then you have to base it off of that.
They do it more like The Witcher, which is the other example I was going to bring up. I like how The Witcher does moral questions because they do it a lot like, well, The Witcher books does it.
Yeah.
Where Geralt is often, given as much information, like half information from multiple biased parties.
Yep.
And has to make a choice. And frankly, none of the choices are ever going to be good.
No.
They're always going to be kind of like, if like someone's going to end up dead is like always the thing. And again, I really like that because that's really a big part of like the storytelling in The Witcher. And if that's what Fall of Avalon's trying to do, I'm like, okay, that could be interesting, but that's not really an Arthurian kind of thing to me.
Yes. Like I was saying though, my issue is that I haven't like gotten to a point where I can confirm, like notably, what the actual what the choice the game wants me to pick is.
Yeah.
Because Arthur's with you the whole time, and you talk to him all the time. You'll do something, it'll unlock a memory for him, and then you'll discuss it.
You're saying you don't know what the consequences are still.
Pretty much,
and that's
yeah.
really frustrating for you.
Yeah, because like, it's more so that it's not even that I want to pick the right choice. It's that I want to know the other half of the information, and I feel like I still don't have it.
To be fair, that's not necessarily bad design.
No, I don't. I'm not. Like I said, I think this is a personal problem. I don't think this is bad design. I don't think this is a thing that the game does poorly. I think I have an issue with it, and that's my own fault. But I can't like ignore it.
So, like in The Witcher 3, an early quest in the first major, not the tutorial area.
Yeah, the Red Baron. We're getting there.
The witches. You have to like you go find like an evil tree spirit or something like that.
Yeah.
You have to make a deal with like the evil tree spirit to either like release him and then he'll help you with the witch situation, or you don't and then you have to deal with him another way. And I'm like, I don't know what the consequences of this are. This is a major goddamn choice. I am sitting on here stressing the fuck out. Finally make the choice, stressing about it, and stressing about it, and stressing about it, and stressing about it until it's finally fucking over, and then it turns out, oh, well, this one choice, it is, through a Rube Goldbergian style of convoluted events, is going to lead up to this one character's death or not.
Yep.
And that sucks to find out.
Yeah, that's...
There's no way you could know. Like, it definitely leads to that, but there's no way you could know when you're making the choice.
Yeah.
And it's just there to kick you in the balls.
Yeah, it has stuff like that. And I don't. Again, I'm not saying it's actually a bad thing or a problem. It's just a thing that I'm frustrated with the game.
It ruins my escapism, and sometimes when I'm playing a video game, it's so I can have a power fantasy escapist thing, you know.
And
like that's why Dark Souls is so simple. It never tries to morally complex anything. It's like, no, everything sucks. Go kill shit.
But it's just like. I don't know if what I did was right. I don't know if I made the right decision.
We're gonna have to come back to this when you finally find out the ramifications. And
if there are any.
Well, so either you're gonna come back and you're gonna be like, "Oh, this game is amazing," or "This game is shit," or there was nothing. I'm so annoyed.
Like
if there's no consequences, that's the worst option, right?
Yeah. One of the big things that happens in the very beginning of the game is that King Arthur bounds with your soul. You get out of a prison because that's what you're doing. And there's a dude who's helping you, and he's like, "Hey, what happened in there? Why are you like that?" And you're like, "Oh, well, I have King Arthur in me," or you lie to him. And he goes, "Oh, okay," and then he kills you immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he doesn't actually kill you. What he does is he like rips King Arthur out of you. However, he does that. They don't explain it, and you're like, "What the fuck, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah, King Arthur's evil. He's a bad person. Every time he's resurrected, everything gets worse," which might be true. You don't really know.
I don't know anything about this universe. It's very weird and fascinating.
Yes. And that's sort of like the crux of like the whole thing. Is his argument is that King Arthur's existence is bad because he like is such a powerful creature, similar like the Emperor in 40K.
Oh, okay.
He's such a powerful creature that he brings on evil.
That's very funny to think. King Arthur's like a guy.
Not in this.
He's a king. He's a good king.
In this, he's more powerful than that.
Everything is anime.
Yes. But King Arthur, you like talk to him, and he's like, "I'm just trying to help the people of Camelot and Avalon. I just want them to be benefit. I want them to be happy and healthy. That's literally all I'm trying to do all the time."
It turns out he is evil.
It's impossible to tell at this stage in the game, but it's a cool game. I couldn't think of anything else I had negative to say about it.
Every once in a while, I get the feeling that I want to play Skyrim, and then I install Skyrim, and then I am a little disappointed, so I install a bunch of mods, and then I play it a little bit, and then I'm kind of disappointed, and I stop playing Skyrim.
No idea what the mod scene on this is at all.
Well, mods, regardless, the next time I get that like feeling that I want to play Skyrim, I'll check this out.
Yeah, maybe give this a check. It's got some cool aspects.
The art direction is definitely cool.
The early game's kind of a slog because you're really underpowered, in my opinion, and then after a certain point, you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. So that can be a thing. But that's about it. All right, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about, Ben, is I want to recommend you an anime I just watched.
Oh my god.
It's called The Fable. This is a pretty terrible trailer, I'm not going to lie. The Fable is an anime about this guy. He is an assassin. He is the best assassin ever.
Okay.
Now, he is sent for 1 year to not kill anybody and just live a normal life.
Okay.
That's
his assignment.
Yes. Well, that's the idea of the show, is that he's going to like go for a full year and not kill anybody because his boss, who's like basically raised him since he was a child, wants him to just like live normal and see if he can do it.
Okay.
Fable, which is what he's referred to usually in the game, in the show,
show.
Is like incredibly like one-minded. Like he's very, very. He's not very good at thinking.
He is a man of incredible focus.
No, that would not be how I just. Well, yes and no.
Well, we don't get to do the John Wick speech.
No, because doesn't really. He's not as badass as John Wick.
Okay.
He's just like really like socially inept because he's been he's been an assassin his entire life. He's been in an underworld like for 99% of his like entire existence.
Is this going to be a show of a guy awkwardly navigating social situations and Okay.
Kind of cool because he's not awkward about it.
Okay.
He doesn't recognize what he's doing is weird.
Yeah.
He's just sort of like going through life. And he and his like driver are both sent to, I think it's Osaka, which is like the southern part of Japan, maybe. I don't actually know the specifics. The reason I have to say it's southern is because they have notably southern accents in the English dub, because the Osakan accent is different than like the Tokyo accent.
Yeah.
And the way they do that in anime, they just give the dubs a southern voice.
I love that personally.
It's really weird, but it works, I guess. And the whole thing is the story of how he's trying to just like live a life, and the people around him end up like be in the scenarios where they're gonna get killed if he doesn't step in. He's like the best assassin in the world, but he's not really. He's got to go help him.
Okay.
And it's kind of a perpetual show of like him walking through life and being like, oh, this person who I'm fond of is potentially going to get thrown to prostitution. I better go do something about that.
Back up for a second. Just make sure I know the plot premise. Why exactly can't he kill people for this year?
That's the assignment. They want him to experience a year where he doesn't have to kill anybody.
They want him to experience. Like this is like a social experiment for them, or what?
For his boss, his boss or his dad, quote unquote, wants him to just try and live a normal life.
Okay.
He just wants him to not be an assassin anymore.
But then he's being put into these like extreme situations.
Not by his own admission. It's because the only way that they could do this is that the Yakuza have to house them.
Okay.
So the first like major area of the plot revolves around one of the Yakuza bosses being like, hey, I know that you're really skilled and powerful. Can you do a couple things for me? And the dude's like, all right, fine, if I want to live it normal. And he goes and helps him out occasionally, and this leads to like a bad actor getting released from prison. And he like starts doing stuff outside of this Yakuza boss's control, and then Fable's ending up needing to be able to deal with it because he has to save somebody.
Okay.
But it's really, really cool. It's a really fun show that I think is massively underrated.
What makes it so good, do you think?
a lot of the plot points are like, what's gonna happen next? Like that's what happened to every episode. This is one of the ones where I couldn't
Oh,
really
okay.
put it down because like something would happen. You're like, I need to know what's gonna fucking
You've been
go
trying
down.
to explain the premise without trying to explain like the actual plot of the
Exactly.
thing because you do not want to spoil stuff.
I don't want to spoil stuff for viewers or you so much. I mean, you don't care as much, but
Well, no, I do care to a certain extent. If it's like a very spoiler heavy thing, it's like this is good because like Game of Thrones is
Yeah.
good because there's so many cliffhangers and it just keeps you addicted to it. You
Yeah.
know?
and there's just a lot of scenarios like that where like okay, he's like in a new place, and then they show you like that the Yakuza have put cameras in somebody's house.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh my god, what's going on there? And then like you see that you see the way this kind of plays out, and then you get to meet like the driver character. She's awesome.
Okay, that's good.
I didn't care about her so much at the beginning of the show, but as she progresses, it's just so great because you're like, oh, she's just like some kind of vapid person, and like her favorite thing in the world to do is to find a guy that she's like that's kind of like not the she likes to find a guy.
Okay.
She likes to find him, get him horrendously drunk, and then just fuck with him.
Okay. Like mess with them.
Yeah. She'll just like she just gets him drunk, and then she takes him back to her house, and then she's like she like puts him underneath like a chair, and kind of like Rube Goldbergs him into like a horrible machination, and she's just dying of laughter.
So
It's her
when you-
favorite thing in the world.
Everybody needs a hobby, I guess.
Yep. And that's the other part of the thing is actually because he's gonna be not killing anybody for a year. They try to give him. He tries to find a job,
Okay.
and then you see how that works out and plays out. I don't want to go too deep into it. I think I've said more than I need to.
What would you call the genre? Because like you've avoided explaining like what actually happens in the story, but I'm still trying to imagine because my original thought was slice of life, and nothing contradicted that except for
It's slice of life with the occasional slice of life thriller, because there's
like the two most opposite genres there are, I think.
yeah, well, because a lot of the story revolving around Fable specifically is just him like going through his life and trying to be a person, even though he's really fucking weird. Like he always walks around his house naked, always.
Okay.
But then like there are also parts where they're like, all right, now we're done with this part of the story. We're gonna go to the bad guys, and we're just gonna see what they're doing. And they're doing shit like killing a guy and throwing him off a building.
Okay.
So like they're doing shit like that. So it's sort of like this back and forth of how these two stories are gonna eventually intersect.
Are you watching it dubbed or subbed?
I watched it dubbed, which I don't know if I would actually recommend because like Fable's voiced by Nolan North, and I don't know, he is so distracting.
Yeah.
Because it's Nolan North, and I know his voice so well.
Like at a certain point, that's just me with voice actors. It's like, oh, I know that voice. I know that voice.
I mean, I know most of the voice. The other one of the other big voices in this actually is Sung Wong.
Oh, the
Pro ZD, yeah.
Okay.
Like he voices at least two characters as far as I can remember. And then there's a few others where you're like, oh, I know that guy, and they're all doing southern accents, and it's kind of funny. But I watch like everything dubbed because I play video games while I watch stuff.
Yeah, you can't pay attention to the screen.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer dubs, just because I know English voice acting better than I know Japanese voice acting, and I can judge it better. Like, I get really annoyed when someone says that a English performance is bad and the Japanese performance is good for some arbitrary reason, like the amount of emotion they're showing. And I'm like, well, I need to know the context of the scene to like know if that's appropriate. In an anime, it probably is.
Yeah, like I would say that I haven't watched the Japanese version of Steins Gate, but I think the voice actors in Steins Gate did a really, really, really good job.
Yeah.
Like the dubbed voices, I think they did an excellent job. I was like, oh, okay, this is respectable. You've achieved something.
Well, in my experience, it almost always is like good to actually really good, and I really wish anime fans kind of appreciated these dubbing actors a little bit better because, like,
Well, actually, they do apparently. I just saw a thing recently that apparently like dubbed people who watch anime watch it dubbed overwhelmingly now. Like it's
Really?
Yeah, it's just become like the majority.
so when I finally became an anime fan, that was the
Yeah,
shift.
that was
I
the
bet.
shift. It was you the whole time.
It was me the whole time. I mean, like there is still stuff I gotta watch. Like I went back and rewatched JoJo's subbed because like
I watched
JoJo's
JoJo.
is better subbed.
I actually agree with that completely. I watched JoJo subbed originally just because it was out first.
Hajime no Ippo is another one of my favorites where it's the dubbing is really really good, but the second half isn't dubbed. So if you want to watch the whole thing, you gotta watch it subbed.
I probably rewatch. I was watching Stone Ocean. I watched through most of it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'll probably rewatch that one subbed just because the main character, Jolene, in the English dub is voiced by a very specific person whose name I can't remember, and her voice is not bad at all. It's not her. It's just that I can't imagine her voice as Jolene. It just doesn't work. I'm watching her play Jolene, and I'm like, that isn't Jolene. I don't know why, but that just ain't her.
I haven't watched Stone Ocean dubbed yet, so I'm trying to imagine like what's like for you. And I'm like, okay, well, Jolene's voice is normal. I don't know who voice acts her, who you're thinking of. So
Neither can I. We can't play sounds. The issue is that I associate that voice with a specific character from another show that you don't know that I don't actually recommend because I don't think it's that good, but I like it a lot.
That happens.
Yep.
And it's always weird when you got like Phil Lamar voices a lot of black characters. You know,
Yeah.
he plays Hermes Conrad. He plays I can't think of any others right now. A bunch, but then he's also Samurai Jack, and it's like, okay, well, his voice is perfect, but because the character is so different from the other characters he plays, it's obvious, but not until you point it out. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, Fable. Check it out, Ben. Maybe a
Hermes
viewer
Conrad.
will. I don't know why it says The Second Contact. I'm assuming this is a movie. This might be something else. I don't know what this is. This is odd.
Moving on.
This is not giving me any information. Yeah, moving on. Did you have more things to talk about?
Well, eventually I wanted to talk about my UFO 50 review, which is a shame because, like, I'm such a low energy week this week. It's been rough for me. I didn't make my tier list and send it ahead of time.
No, we don't have it. Sorry.
And what's disappointing is that I'm talking about easily my favorite game of the list so far,
Oh, yeah.
which is Magic Garden.
Magic Garden.
Magic Garden is fucking awesome. I think it's my favorite game in the entire collection.
It's Tetris.
It's not Tetris.
It's Tetris and Snake.
Okay, so what it is so for players who are familiar with the game Snake, where you play as a little
Snake.
You play as a little line that travels around the map and picks up dots, and every dot it picks up, the line grows a little bit longer.
Yep.
And if you ever crash into the edge of the field or into yourself, then you lose. This is kind of like that, except the dots you pick up are little slimes called Opies. Little
Opies.
cute little guys with little googly eyes, and they follow you around, and you, instead of having to worry about like growing and not crashing into yourself, you have to drop them off on safety pads. Man, I do not have the energy to explain the weirdness of like an arcade game's arbitrary rule setup. You drop them on these little safety pads, and the more you drop off at once, the higher your score gets.
Continue.
Trying to explain like why this game is so good isn't gonna be easy because like
No.
it's the moment-to-moment gameplay that is so incredibly fun. It is perfectly tuned. It's got that exact kind of like risk-reward balance to it.
New tab.
The more OPs you
is-
have, the harder it is
Why?
to drop them off, but the more rewarding it is to drop it off. Like, actually beating the game, you only need to save 200 of these little OPs.
Here's
And
a.
that isn't that hard when
No.
you figure it out. But, like, it's really, really, really hard not to push yourself.
Yeah.
It's really hard not to be like, okay, yeah, but I could just drop off like 20 at once and get a huge combo.
Well, yeah, but doing a huge combo doesn't really matter it, actually.
Well, I really enjoy the score chasing aspect of this game. Like, I regularly play this one just to improve my high score.
Yeah, but like you improve it more by getting like exactly the amount to get a potion.
Yes. Okay, so more intricate gameplay things. Another thing that I love about Magic Garden is that it was really, really fun just figuring out how it worked.
Yep.
Most games in UFO 50, they don't have any sort of manual or anything that tells you how, like, what any of the buttons do. Like, you can look up the controls and that's about it. Figuring out, like, the intricacies of, okay, this is how you drop them off. You can jump over enemies. If you drop off a certain number, it spawns a potion. The potions come in different colors. The different colors have different effects that get more and more powerful. The as you learn more and more about the game, the optimal strategy tends to change.
Yep.
Like the actual best thing, as Ryan was alluding to, is to only get 6 at once, because that's what spawns a potion.
Yep.
And then the longer the potion sits on the map, the more it'll change and improve into a better potion. And once it improves into the best potion, then you can grab it, and then you can kill a bunch of OPs and also summon a good OP. Oh, there's evil and good OPs. This is important.
Yeah, these are the evil ones. These ones.
Like, evil ones will spawn all over the map as you play, and you have to dodge them, and if you touch them, you die.
Yeah,
and
there's obstacles.
If you drop them off anywhere besides the drop-off pads, then they'll turn into evil OPs, and that's really important, because my main strategy is actually to farm a shitload of good OPs, drop them all off, turn them all, off the pad, turn them all evil, and then kill them all with a potion, which is definitely not what the game designers intended.
No.
But I love it.
A couple things that I really liked about Magic Garden, because I did actually beat this one. I've golden it. I've gilded it.
I've cherried this one.
Yes, you have. I showed that earlier. The way these dudes, these little guys, will indicate which direction they're going with their eyes, I love that. So if you can see this guy, he's going up. This dude's going down. This dude's going to the left, and then it's this inverted to go right.
Again, it's like little details of the design that you notice and you pick up on, and as you're learning it as you play, it feels so rewarding to pick up on those things.
It's one of those things that I think UFO 50 does a lot, and I think like whenever I rarely will, but I'll talk to people who are like getting into making games, because I'm also trying to get into making games.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I tell people, even though I have no experience, is that what you need to do if you want to make a really big indie hit is you just have to make the stupid small details really cool.
Yeah.
If you do that, you're good.
So it used to be the common wisdom was you just pick 2 major genres that people love.
Smash them.
And smash them together, It's a roguelike Metroidvania deck builder.
Bam. Done.
There's at least 4 of those.
Northern Lion will play it.
Northern Lion will play it.
But
I will watch it.
And a lot of times I feel like the coolest games ever are games where you really just need to have some slightly small but really impactful details that really stand out. Like, have you ever played Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop?
No.
Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop is amazing.
That's a hilarious name. I love the name. Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop. That is fucking beautiful.
Oh, it was right there. Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop is a game where you play as a character from Bluey. That's not actually true. But he looks like a character from Bluey.
Does he have both of his eyes on the side of his... Why does he have 4 eyes?
Because he's an alien.
He's an alien fox.
Yep.
Oh god, he's got a human body.
He does.
That's so creepy.
The idea of this game is if you've ever played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
I love that game.
Well, this is the single-player version of that.
Oh, wow. That's what I need, because the problem with Keep Talking Nobody Explodes is I need other people to play it with.
Yeah, and that game, for our listeners, if you haven't played it, is you have to open up a manual, a real manual in real life, and you have to go through the manual and figure out what bomb that the other player is going through.
Yeah, you're defusing a bomb, and one player is manually defusing it, and the other one is reading the manual and explaining what he has to do, and because the bomb's modules are so weird, it's like playing mini-games.
This is that, but instead of bombs, you're fixing up rockets.
Okay.
And it's got so many small little details like that are so cool. I love this game. I highly recommend it. It's so fun. But that's what a lot of the aspects of UFO remind me of is those little details, the little tiny stuff, like playing Sunset Overdrive, or not Overdrive. It's Sunset Drive.
No, it's Sunset Overdrive, isn't it?
No, Sunset Overdrive
Sunset Drive, yeah, you're right.
Sunset Overdrive is the Xbox exclusive one game. The really cheesy, terrible one. Yeah.
It's not terrible.
It's probably terrible.
No, it's not.
It's probably terrible.
No, it's not.
But it's like when you play that with 2 players and then one person uses the gun and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
This is the dopest shit ever. Stuff like that. Little tiny details.
The thing that UFO 50, it just takes, old style games that aren't made anymore, and it applies, all the lessons we've learned about game design to them.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but yeah.
There's so many, arcade, trying to design, an arcade game from scratch, an old style 1980s arcade game where it's this is a single screen cabinet, these are the limitations on the programming, how do we make this fun? You look at Magic Garden, and it fits perfectly. You can so easily imagine it having existed then.
Yeah.
But if it did, it would be the best game ever made.
It's
Like, it
pretty
would be
much,
like
yeah.
everyone, their minds would be blown because it's those little details and all the lessons that they've learned over all the years that make it so good.
So yeah, where do you know where this is going to be on your tier list?
Oh, this is S tier, top.
Oh, this is at the top? Okay.
Unquestionably, number one, top of the list, S tier.
Nope.
Um,
Let's get out of this start topic. Continue talking.
I do have like kind of a weird tangent that I was thinking of when I was thinking about this game.
Magic Garden.
Is that the theme of it is a little weird.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So like the theme is that you play as a little girl and you're in a garden and there's a witch who is making things bad somehow and you're saving the little slime things. It's all cutesy and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is that like what I was thinking of is if this was a game I found as like a collection of like old games, like real old games, like if I was just going through my emulation and just seeing like, okay, what's this? What's that? I wouldn't play it for very long.
No.
And that's because of the theme and because like as a like growing up as a boy always being turned off by girly stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's tragic because the game is so good. And this was a real thing, like historically. So how much do you know about like the history of like women in video games?
Not much.
So,
I know I could name a lot of women in video games.
Like they were very, very important at the start and then kind of got pushed out.
Mm.
And that's very tragic. But I always think of it in the arcade sense, like back in the arcade days, every fucking game was a space shooter based on Star Wars. Like,
yeah.
Every single one. It was the most popular thing by far. And that wasn't very popular with women. So when Hiro Toriyama, or not Hiro Toriyama, I'm going to get his name wrong. So the guy who created Pac-Man.
Yeah.
He created Pac-Man to appeal to both genders. He's like, okay, well, let's not have a spaceship shooting a bunch of aliens. Let's have something that anyone likes. What does everybody like?
Dots.
Everybody likes eating.
Yeah.
Okay. And it worked. Like, women really liked playing Pac-Man. Like, it got girls back into the arcades again. Centipede was another one. Like, Centipede is just a shooter. You play as a little thing shooting at things at the top of the screen. It's no different from Galaga.
Yeah.
But because it's about gardening and not about, playing as a spaceship, the theme of it made it so girls actually wanted to play it,
Yeah.
Nintendo is the company that really fucking, like, pushed women out of video games. Because after the market crash, when they were trying to sell the NES, they were selling it not as a piece of electronics, but as a toy.
Yeah.
And toys are super, super gendered. You have to have, they got to go in the aisle that all the guns go in or the aisle that all the pink stuff goes in.
Yep.
And the NES was heavily, heavily marketed as a toy for boys. And more, like, that became an established thing until less and less girls played video games. And I think about, like, games like Adventures of Lolo and Lala, which was like an old HAL game that they made before Kirby, or even just like Kirby. Like Kirby manages to be successful despite being a little pink blob.
Yeah.
And that's maybe why they give him all the angry eyes and like all the American promotional artwork. Do you know what that's a thing?
I knew of that, yes.
It's because like they don't think little boys will buy the stuff for the little girls, and because the little girls don't think they should play it because this is a toy for boys.
Yeah, it's that never ceasing, like, damned if you do, not damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's I want to do X, but people are trying to get me to stop doing X. When people try to stop getting me back into X, it pushes me back out again. It's that never ceasing. I forget what it's called. I've also explained it wrong. I just fucked that whole thing up. Oh well. But yeah, like Magic Garden, as you were saying, is like it's clearly a girl-centric, and
nothing about the gameplay indicates that. The gameplay is Snake,
Well, okay, you're right, but I was gonna tell you what happened at the end.
Oh,
what happens when you beat it?
The cute little ending.
So what happens when you beat the game is you go through, you get all the 200 OPs, and then the witch comes out, and the little girl's like, hey. We're both girls. Let's just build each other up. We don't got to be dicks to each other. Let's girl power this shit, bitch. Let's go.
It's the best thing ever. It's so cute.
Yeah, man, it's great.
We can both grow a beautiful garden, and then they walk off together.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Sapphic.
And you're like, oh, fuck, wait, I can't get my high score any higher? Fuck!
Yeah, okay, it's a score-chasing game that has, like, an end, so then I mean, I prefer that because, like, if it went on forever. So, on the subreddit, some of the challenges that people set for themselves are nuts. Like, there's this guy who was, for a while, posting every single day, no potion challenges, where, he was just trying to get the maximum score possible without ever using a potion.
Yeah.
So he's just jumping over everything. Like, the entire field is just enemy OPs, and he's just perfectly navigating and jumping over it. He got to 96.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Because that means the whole board, pretty much.
But on the other hand, like, because there's that flat 200 limit, if you want, you can just speedrun it.
Yep.
And instead make the challenge about getting to 200 as fast as humanly possible, which means not going for big combos.
But yeah, Magic Garden's amazing. It's a really great game.
Perfectly designed.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfectly designed.
I have to now tell you a thing I was supposed to tell you all at the beginning of the show, which is that we're also on Spotify.
We're supposed to do it at the beginning? I thought we were going to do that as part of the end shout-outs.
Well, it makes less sense to do it at the end.
Does it?
Well,
yeah, they already listened to it. No, wait. Well, okay, so they would open it up on
It makes less sense because they're not going to watch the whole thing.
It's too late now, dude. We've already been talking
I know.
for an hour.
Well, we're also on Spotify. Check us out.
To our listeners, this is Eric. This is your shout-out.
Yep.
Sorry about that. It's been a rough week.
We also have to talk about deception, and we have to bring up the Stop Killing Games update.
I mean, there isn't much to update, only that, like, after the controversy, there was a gigantic surge in signatures and popularity and attention. And now I'm starting to think that if Thor and Pirate Software had not done what he did, it would not nearly be as successful as it is now, because
Look,
it was the controversy that got it to this point.
It's at 1.3 million. We need to go over the hope is to go over 1.4 million, because if it goes over 1.4 million signatures, there's zero chance that the signatures that were either faked or improperly put in will be rejected, which is the big worry at the moment. So if you haven't signed up and you're here somehow, do please.
Well, if you're
a European citizen.
We're both American. Like, I haven't signed up for this.
Yeah,
but
I can't. And I wouldn't to try to stop it. One thing I wanted to talk about with Thor specifically that has been bugging me is every time I've been seeing new stuff about this that isn't from Ross, because Ross has been telling you about. He also told us about that a bunch of big game companies are lobbying against it. Shocker. If it is not Ross, it's somebody else, and what happens a lot is that they will talk about the initiative, and they'll be like, this is the initiative, it's great. And then they'll be like, also, by the way, I wish that Thor would die. Every time.
Yeah.
It's been happening a lot, and I hate it because it's starting to sound and feel more and more like Gamergate.
No, he is being witch hunted right now. I'm going to flat out say that, because for our listeners who might remember our last conversation about it, I was definitely
Very
Thor.
anti. And I was like, I think it's fair to come out of this and be like, I hate Thor or I don't like him. It's just, why are you attacking him?
They're attacking him because it's fucking content and they get paid for it.
Well, not even that. There's also just people on Twitter. People, like, his Twitter is terrible. I mean, I don't know why he's still on it because the guy did the thing. But, like, his Twitter is just people, like, shitting all over everything he said and stuff that he hasn't said. And, like people are making this connection, this horrible connection. He's a furry.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a furry, and his animal are ferrets. He
Okay.
loves ferrets. He also owns a ferret sanctuary.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Really dope, because it's like he's really being beneficial to the ferret community within his area. And people are making that horrible connection, the one that you can make on your own. And it's like, bro, fuck off.
This is why the internet's a mistake.
Yep.
Because, like, I still believe that, like, the issue was pretty clear-cut, like, as it was described back then.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter, because everybody can and will get involved, and that's when the dogpiling and the witch hunting starts.
Yeah, and it just grosses me out, man.
The thing is, like I was saying, I think that if he had not said anything, if there was no controversy,
it probably wouldn't have gotten this big.
This entire thing would just fizzle out because of apathy.
I think a lot of it, I was making this point to other people. I think a lot of what was kind of what we said last time, which is that Ross is just not a super great leader for this.
He doesn't even want to do it. He's said that.
Yeah, and I get that, but, like, you are doing it. You need to like, talk to people, and he hasn't really been able to put, like, that effort in.
The entire situation is depressing to me, because as far as I see it, it was like, okay, we have the petition, people are apathetic and don't care. we point out this controversial figure, and it's a controversy that gets people caring.
Mm-hmm.
And now that person is being super, super attacked.
Totally unfairly, unnecessarily. And it's just like it sucks. Like it's cool that the initiative is succeeding. Hopefully, at least gotten to a good point, and that like this might become with positive change.
I believe what's going to end up happening is nothing. I believe like the signatures go through, and the government's going to look at it, and they're going to do what they always do, which is be old people who don't understand anything about video games and not understand what people are even trying to communicate to them.
Yeah, that's a big worry. It's possible. It's just nice that like something did happen. This thing that's upsetting to me is that this dude who was against it and I feel like misrepresented it is being attacked unnecessarily for it.
Yeah, thank you, Pirate Software, for being kind of a dick and now being a martyr.
Yeah, I still appreciate you, man.
I like I said, I don't think this success would have happened if he didn't say anything.
I mean, like besides this stuff, I'm still in his game jam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do anything with it because I haven't been able to practice, but I'm in this game jam in his Discord. His Discord's pretty chill.
I knew it was going to be a problem because after our episode, like just scrolling through YouTube, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not subscribed to Ross. The first time I watched any of his videos, I had to go do a bunch of research to learn about Stop Killing Games.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he hasn't brought it up again since. But seeing Pirate Software's face in thumbnails all over the place of like channels that have never been recommended to me before, people I've never watched before, but it's like, oh, you want to get in on this drama, don't you? Don't you? And I'm like, no, YouTube algorithm, please don't do this. Please don't do this to a person. Please don't do this to a person.
Yeah, and it's really upsetting.
It is so easy. Like, do you remember? Of course you do, but the last H Bomber the last H Bomber guy video, excuse me, when he was calling out the plagiarist.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that YouTube is actually good at is witch hunts.
Yep, it's the best. It's literally crazy. Like if there's bad drama about someone, like nobody in the world, like a very large amount of people had no idea who the completionist was.
Yeah.
Until
yeah,
it was revealed that he like did a really weird thing with his charity.
I believe he stole money from his charity. I do not know the specifics. I always had I was never a fan of the completionist, but I also had positive feelings towards him, and I don't want to misrepresent him in case he did anything really, really bad.
Like it's not that he stole it. It's just that he didn't donate it.
Well, then it's stolen.
Well, no, he didn't spend it either.
It's still stolen.
But he did. I think he did eventually end up donating it when it was revealed that he just didn't spend it.
It doesn't help that like the guy, the YouTuber, I'm not even going to name him.
Yeah.
I know that is spearheading the anti-completionist like movement is also a piece of shit who's under his own controversies.
Yes.
And it's like what? It's nonstop.
It's just mud, bro. It's just mud.
It's shit all the way down.
So weird. Anywho, that's the Stop Killing Games initiative. The links will be in the description. Check it out.
It's better than ever, and I am depressed about it.
I know.
not about the initiative, but about what it says about the state of things.
Every time.
About the internet and about gaming culture.
Let's go ahead and improve our mood.
Talk about it. One of our
Deception Hong Kong. We haven't played this game in like a year.
Yeah, that's been a while. I was surprised you picked this one out.
I picked it because it was in the car. So Deception Hong Kong is a terrible name for a really great game. The idea of this game is that you are a group of detectives. You're all detectives, except one of you is a murderer.
Yeah, secret murderer on the force.
There's also one person who's playing as the forensic scientist or something like that.
Yeah.
And their job is to give clues to the detectives of who the murderer is. The murderer and all the detectives have a series of evidence in front of them. They have a weapon and a location, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Something. No, the locations are the thing that forensic scientists give out.
They have like a series of weapons and random clues
random
that are
trinkets
associated with the crime scene.
Yeah. And the murderer picked two of them. They'll be like, I want these scissors and this paper. And then the forensic scientist knows who it is. They know the murderer. They're trying to get the detectives to come to that conclusion with like subtle clues. And the subtle clues would be stuff like there's a list of potential locations. And they'll be like, all right, this murder happened in an office. and then it'll have like mood of the killer. The killer was angry. This way, trying to indicate it was in an office, it was angry, so we grabbed the nearest thing you could and stabbed him.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a really, really, really good social deduction game that we've played the shit out of, probably too much.
We have played the shit out of all of our social deduction games, I think.
Yeah, when we first started playing board games a lot, I figured that we were going to always be dudes on a map war game people.
Yeah, but
And
Secret
then-
Hitler.
And then Secret Hitler, and then Deception Hong Kong, and then Blood on the Clock Tower, which at some point you're going to have to bring in.
Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have to bring. Well, I kind of want to do a big Blood on the Clock Tower game. I'm thinking of inviting people, but that's planning that we should do
We also need to do
offset.
the Twilight Imperium one.
We also still have to have a giant Twilight Imperium game. To our listeners, we have not had the giant Twilight Imperium game.
No, we forgot.
We're gonna talk about it on the podcast when we have that game.
Should I? I'll just play. Deception Hong Kong's dope. I would really recommend it. I would say the biggest issue with it is that it does get stale with with time.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Deception in Hong Kong, it's made by Gray Fox Games, and if I am not mistaken, they are the same people who made Mysterium.
I believe so.
And like their big thing, that their gameplay concept that they love experimenting with is like subtle psychological hinting, like messaging to one another.
Yeah.
Like when he was describing the whole office scenario, you know that the murder takes place in the office, so you're looking at all the clues and weapons and stuff. Obviously, the lawnmower isn't going to be one of them, so it's an elimination kind of thing. But then you're like narrowing it down to like the last like 4 options, and it's like, okay, well, is it the scissors or the stapler? And the guy who's playing the forensic analysis, who knows that it's the scissors, is going, how the hell do I signal to them that it's not the stapler? I don't know. I already told them it's in the office, but obviously it covers that.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Being the forensic scientist is always so much fun.
Well, no, it's actually always very stressful and very annoying.
You see the two different people we are. Because I'm just sitting here like, I know they're going to get this wrong, but they're going to have to figure it out.
You like seeing us get it wrong, because then you can make fun of us for not getting the obvious thing, because it is obvious after the fact.
Oh yeah, every after the fact, every time everyone feels so stupid.
And then sometimes you just come up with a weird way of signaling something random.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, it happened in the morning, and you don't think that's gonna matter at all, but somehow that one player, it just clicks in their brain.
And they're just
what
like, wait a
you're trying
minute,
to communicate.
That dude has breakfast.
That dude had breakfast. Exactly. That was the paper. He was reading the Sunday paper at breakfast. Or some shit like that.
It's so good. Yeah, we haven't played it in forever. But it's such a fun time. I would recommend checking it out if you haven't.
I would say, so out of all of our social deduction games, though, like, how does this stack against Secret Hitler?
I think the issue is that compared to Secret Hitler, the setup is significantly more. It requires one more player than a good game of Secret Hitler, I think. We could probably play with like 4 people.
I feel like Secret Hitler has more legs. Like, we've played it for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And that's because it's just down to the simple lying thing.
Yeah.
You know? Simple lying and math.
Yeah, and this is similar in that, but it also requires the forensic scientist. But it also has roles, which we've forgotten about kind of.
Oh yeah, because like sometimes the killer has like special people to help him, and they'll have like different abilities and stuff. If I'm not mistaken. Those like little expansions in gameplay, like they never ruin the game or add that much. Like, they're never essential.
No,
if that makes any sense. They can be fun, but often they don't matter.
I think so. For the record, we have actually also played Mysterium. I would say this is definitely better to me than Mysterium.
Really?
Yeah, well, because we like solved Mysterium as a concept quickly.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem with these kinds of games. This whole like coded message I need a term for this, like, because it's not a coded message. It's not like that.
Trying to investigate,
psychologically communicate.
Yeah. Just communicate with not communicate with concepts as opposed to words.
So Mysterium is a game where you play as a ghost trying to communicate to psychics through dreams. So you're picking out like pictures that just have like weird, like nonsense art. If it were made today, it would be awful AI generated art, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it's got like weird nonsense art that like depicts dreams, and using those pictures, you're giving clues to the psychics as to who was the murderer of the ghost, and like it is such a weird way of trying to communicate because like you've got this image that has a guy outside and he's like, I don't know, watering a an oven, like something
Yeah.
nonsensical, and you're trying to focus on like the outside or the oven or the act of watering, and you're trying to clue that into them.
Yeah.
When you play with the same group over and over and over again, you can get really good at like communicating with each other through that, and that kind of ruins the game.
It's also the other thing of there's not really any math in Mysterium or Deception.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like it shouldn't be a problem, but the fact that there isn't math is kind of a thing. Like, if there's no other way to solve a person lying other than catching that they're lying, it can be kind of annoying.
Yeah, or if there's no other clues, like if you're just out of opportunities to try to elaborate any further, you just hit a dead end and there's no way to like
That's
move
kind
forward.
of the issue with Blood on the Clock Tower, whenever we end up talking about that. That's like one of the reasons that like Nathan doesn't like that game. It's like there's no way to solve the murderer beyond someone slipping up.
Yeah, well, not to get into Blood on the Clock Tower early, because we will talk about that in a future episode, but yeah, a problem with that is that it is really easy to get into a situation where you can't solve it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to guess, and you have to guess based on whether or not people were lying, and all of the complications don't matter. You're just back to playing Mafia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But despite that, I think Deception's better than Mysterium. I think it's more fun, and I think it's a pretty good game if you haven't ever checked it out.
I think Mysterium is a gorgeous game. Absolutely.
Way
great
better
components.
looking, better better concept, but I think that this is
Yeah, Deception's a game I'd rather play. Mysterium's the box I want on my shelf.
that's a good way of putting it, actually. Is Mysterium the game we think it is?
Yeah,
I don't know.
We played that other game by the same people as well.
This isn't by the same people.
No?
No. This is not by Gray Fox. They're not a publisher. Or an artist. They're neither.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I spent so much time talking about it, and I'm just completely wrong.
Well,
My apologies, Gray
we'll
Fox
correct.
Games.
We'll correct this later.
Well, we're not going to get into who's made Mysterium, but Gray Fox Games made Deception, the game we're talking about, and we want to give them credit.
Yep. We had another topic, didn't we?
No. You said you might talk about even more video games if we had the time.
Oh, well, we kind of have the time.
All right, well, what did you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Oh Dear.
Oh dear, what's that?
ODEER.
Like an animal.
Like the animal.
With antlers.
You play four of you play as deer. Actually, you're playing as Wendigos, who are disguised as deer.
Okay. Wait. Back up. What?
Four of you play as Wendigos disguised as deer.
Okay.
It's similar in nature to Assassin's Creed multiplayer, where you're blending in with a crowd.
I've never played Assassin's Creed multiplayer.
Oh, Assassin's Creed multiplayer is you are dressed as a regular person.
Okay.
And you just have to blend in with the crowd. So all you're really doing is like walking slowly, and you're like walking with the crowd, and you'll do like actions that the other crowd are doing. And there's other people in the game who are also doing the same exact thing, but you're all assassins.
Okay.
The goal is to kill as many other assassins as you can.
So you're playing hide and seek.
Kinda, yeah. But you're doing it within plain sight.
Love it.
Oh Deer is the same thing, but you're playing as deer, Wendigos. And every like few minutes you have to eat, otherwise you will stand up and obviously look bizarre. And then one of you is playing as a hunter. Hunter's got a bow and arrow. He's wandering around. He's looking for the weird deer.
The weird deer.
So he'll like looking around. He'll see like just deer walking around, and then he'll see one deer, and one deer will be like they'll like move weird, move a little weird, and then just bam, dead. Got a Wendigo, or regular deer because the AI isn't great.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of fun.
That is literally the whole game.
It sounds like that whole game is a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Exactly how fun it would be.
It's a very fun, like social fun, like play with your friends type thing. You had to play with your friends. There's also modifiers you can add where they'll add like landmines on the field.
Landmines.
Just landmines littering the entire thing, and then you'll just be walking around, and then like deer will just explode. And then sometimes you'll explode, and someone will be like, "Fuck, I died." And you'll be like, "Oh shit, I won." It's when landmines are active, it's just one of you is going to kill themselves. You have to wait for who does it. And then the other one will be bear traps, which is similar, but there's no damage. It's just like you're stuck. It's a really, really simple, really fun game for like $8. I'd recommend giving it a check out. Yeah.
All right then.
Final game I'll talk about is Peak.
What's Peak?
Okay, this is crazy that you don't know about Peak. Peak is like the biggest video game ever right now. It is
What?
not like ever, but on Twitch, we'll say.
Okay, is it like the biggest video game ever right now in the same way that like League of Legends was?
I was gonna say in the same way that Lethal Company was.
Okay. Which one's Lethal Company?
Lethal Company is the horror extraction.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. I remember now.
Yeah.
I never played Lethal Company.
It's fine. It's really big right now because it's like really simple. The whole idea is that you are climbing a mountain.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. You're stranded on a beach and you're like, you got to climb that mountain. You go and you climb that mountain, you get to the top, and there's another mountain. You climb that mountain. Yeah. There's another one over there. And you go, all right, you go and climb that mountain, another mountain.
I think I'm sensing a pattern here.
Yeah, well, actually you aren't, because after that mountain, which is the frozen one, then it's a big lake of lava that you have to get over.
Okay.
And then after you get over that mountain, specifically a volcano.
So it's a platformer.
No,
Well,
it's
fucking
3D.
Pull up some goddamn platformers can be 3D, asshole.
It's Breath of the Wild.
Okay, but it's just the movement part.
Yeah.
Then it's a platformer.
I don't know, I guess, if you want to get technical. I don't think of it as a platformer because you're like, it's mostly climbing.
Well, if the climbing is if the part of the game is the movement mechanism, then it's a platformer. Like if that's the gameplay.
Okay.
You know?
Open image.
So I think climbing is a little bit more complicated than it is in Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is just stamina management.
Not really. I mean, a little bit. Like you can get extra stamina, and then every if you have weight, if you're carrying stuff, that reduces your stamina bar. If you get poisoned, that reduces your stamina bar. If you get hurt, that just reduces your stamina bar. There's no actual health besides this.
Have you played Death Stranding?
No.
I was gonna say, is it similar to that at all?
No, because Death Stranding's a lot more finicky, from what I understand. This is literally just like you'll have like a backpack maybe. It'll be full of items, and some of those items can help you climb. You'll have like a rope bridge or whatever, or a chain launcher that just is your chain that you can climb on. And you just get to the top. It's just simple.
I mean, it honestly sounds like something I would enjoy a lot.
So it's a really fun game with your friends because your friends can help you as you go up. You just climb the mountain together. It's really great. What's really fun about it, though, really fun,
What's so special about this?
that I love is this is like one of the most fun games to play when you just have like a lazy day and you have another thing on. You just have for me it'd be like Taskmaster. I'm watching Taskmaster on my other screen, and you know what I'm doing over here? I'm playing Peak.
You know
going
what
up
the
a
term for
mountain.
that is?
No.
Abnegation.
Abnegation.
So abnegation is the most underappreciated gameplay element of many video games. And abnegation is just your ability to zone out and just like play without thinking.
Yeah.
It's why grinding is an important thing and shouldn't be removed out of video games. Because sometimes you just get out of work and you're tired and you don't want to think, so you just grind while you watch TV.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same as this, you know?
Yeah. That's what this game's. That's one of the things that, in my opinion, is the big strengths of this game. Is that.
I was not expecting these graphics. They're very funny.
Yeah, they're very baby-like almost. It's awesome. There's a million people playing it on Twitch. Like every big. What the heck is that? Every big streamer pretty much has been playing this. It's just it's a fun time.
But it's not big like League of Legends, because this is going to be replaced by the next Twitch phenomena.
That's why I'm saying it's more like Lethal Company, because like it's big in the sense that like Lethal Company was like the biggest game of that like 2-month period, but as soon as that 2-month period ended, nobody gave a shit about it.
I never find out about these games until after they're already not popular anymore.
Yeah, because you're not really on Twitch.
This is true. I find Twitch to be very annoying.
I'm also not really on Twitch, to be totally fair. But
yeah, how do you learn about this stuff?
Well, I'll just hear about the game. Like YouTube will tell me, or I'll just see like people playing it or whatever. I don't know. Friends. Also, my friends who are on Twitch.
I'm an old man.
Not that old.
No, but I feel very old, especially with my habits and tastes. You know?
I feel old, even though I'm not. I'm like 28. Why am I feeling so old?
Because you don't play Roblox and Fortnite.
I do play Fortnite very rarely.
I didn't know that.
It's not often. I only play the no build mode.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we wanted to talk about in this episode? I think I'm ready to call it a day.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we're time wise we gotta be done.
So by the way, we're on Spotify now.
Yeah, we're on
Spotify. Said that at the
Spotify.
beginning of the episode.
I'll remember next week. Don't
so that
worry.
you could have swapped to your Spotify stream.
I'm sure that Alex will tell me that I forgot because he told me I did something last week that no one will ever know about.
Here, I'll just add a special recorded message. This is Ben from the future. Just wanted to let you know that we now have our episodes on Spotify, and then you can just cut that and put it at the beginning of the episode.
Maybe
over a black screen.
I don't know if I want to.
Like, come on.
Okay, maybe. All right.
And then you won't have to feel bad about it.
If you watched it this far, I hope you would please like, comment, and subscribe in the video. Maybe share it, all that stuff. We're on Spotify, you know. Bye.
Bye.